want to tell a story today, and that story is about how one of my aunts in my family do not talk to me because they think that I, at the age of 16, did something with her partner at the time. And I have been a nervous wreck to talk about something like this and to tell this story. A, because of my family. B, because I don't want people, it's not to hurt people to tell my story.
Oh my goodness! People have finally cracked the code about who Ashlee Braxton was referring to when she exposed that shocking story about her aunt's partner making inappropriate moves on her when she was just 16. And get this, her aunt had the audacity to blame her. I honestly can't say I'm shocked because, well, we're talking about the Braxtons here. But what's even more disturbing is how Ashlee apparently touched her own sister inappropriately, which tragically led to addiction and death.
That was really devastating for me when she passed away because A, the person who had also gone through what I had gone through was gone. So obviously me speaking, people are like, is this a made up story? I didn't have that person.
Yeah.
I didn't have that connection anymore of someone who truly understood me.
Of course.
I left, and I left you in a sort of semi-difficult situation. And then also growing up, there was, I guess, when you're touched inappropriately as a child and then it sort of manifests and then you start doing it. So then there was a lot of guilt there because I had her.
Right.
And so for me, the reason why she passed away was because for me, all of those reasons was because of me, and that's why she's not here.
I swear I have never, ever seen such a complicated and messy family situation. So let's dive right in and spill all this piping hot tea, and maybe we can figure out which auntie she's talking about. Let me give you the heartbreaking backstory about Ashlee Braxton. This poor girl revealed that her mom literally abandoned her and her sister. Can you believe that? But wait, it gets worse. She ended up in this nightmare situation with a stepmom who was absolutely horrible. We're talking about someone who called them the N-word and treated them like dirt. And here's the most devastating part. When Ashlee's sister passed away after overdosing, Ashlee desperately reached out to her biological mom through email, but guess what? She didn't even bother to show up. Ashlee poured her heart out, saying this journey has brought her to a point where she finally needs to confront everything head on and speak her truth. But here's what's really powerful. She's not just doing this for herself. She wants to be a voice for all the women, men, and anyone else who's gone through similar experiences when they were underage. You can tell how scared she was to speak out because she mentioned needing to be careful with her words. Let's be real. The Braxtons are powerful people, and like anyone with that kind of status, they'll do whatever it takes to protect their name. Now, about what actually went down, Ashlee revealed that her stepmother and father, Michael Braxton Jr., discovered these inappropriate text messages between her and her aunt's partner. At first, when they told her aunt, she seemed loving and upset about what happened to Ashlee. But guess what? That support didn't last long. As time went by, her aunt completely flipped the script. The most disgusting part? Her aunt actually had the nerve to suggest that Ashlee started it or was somehow part of the problem. Can you imagine blaming a child for something like this? Through therapy, Ashlee finally realized that she was never to blame. She was just a child who should never have been put in that situation in the first place. It breaks my heart when she talked about bonding with friends over similar experiences. Nobody should have to go through that. A few days later, Ashlee came back to double down on why she was sharing her story. She made it crystal clear that she wasn't trying to drag anyone specific through the mud. This isn't about trashing my family's name, she insisted. This is about my story, my truth, and creating a space for people who've been silenced. For the first time in forever, I feel free, and I want to help others who've been through this. But y'all, let me tell you how this story gets even more twisted. Ashlee revealed that while her aunt was super supportive at first, something changed over those 16 years. This aunt started accusing Ashlee of being the one who initiated those intimate text exchanges, and even claimed Ashlee got physically intimate with the uncle. Can you imagine putting that kind of blame on a child? When Ashlee talked about this part, she just broke down crying. You could see how deeply her aunt's reaction wounded her. And get this, she hinted that this uncle actually had some kind of platform but chose to stay quiet about the whole thing. The worst part? Everyone in the family just kept breaking bread with this man like nothing ever happened. In her second video, Ashlee needed to take a moment to compose herself. That's how emotional this was for her. She emphasized again how much therapy she's needed to work through all this suppressed trauma. And despite everything, she still cares about the Braxton family, even though talking about this publicly is tearing her apart. Now, here's where it gets even darker. While Ashlee didn't directly address this in her videos, apparently her sister's tragic overdose and addiction problem stemmed partly from how Ashlee used to touch her inappropriately, a horrifying result of Ashlee's own trauma. I mean, what kind of generational curse is this? It's absolutely heartbreaking. When this tea first spilled, people were saying how sad it is that they couldn't immediately guess which sister was the culprit because, and I hate to say this, they all seemed capable of this kind of behavior. But honey, since then, Ashlee's been dropping breadcrumbs, and social media detectives have been piecing everything together. Initially, some folks pointed out that Shell's World had already hinted about Tawanda's man having some sketchy behavior with a minor in the family. But then, a whole lot of people were convinced Ashlee was talking about Tamar. And honestly, given Tamar's crazy relationship drama with her men, it wouldn't be surprising at all. Remember when Tamar had that whole meltdown and shut down all her social media? Before going dark, she posted all these explosive messages on X about how toxic her family is. "Y'all have no idea, none. The gaslighting is crazy," she wrote. "I'm going back into treatment. I just pray my marriage can be saved and my life can be spared. My life is awful." In another post, she straight up said, "I'm so mad at my life. My family is toxic. I should have never went back to BFV." Apparently, Junior was causing all these issues between Tamar and her family because they just couldn't understand why she kept sticking with a man like that. And then there was that messy situation with Tommy Lee. Chile, Tommy exposed that even after Junior got back with Tamar, he was still out here sneaking around. She even came with receipts about an outing she had with JR just a month before he reconciled with Tamar.
The sad situation is, like, we're black, Tamar. I could say your name. I know I'm not a I live too well, baby, and I've never indulged in drugs. I don't have to keep saying that y'all gonna run with whatever. But we're two black girls letting this, I'm not even gonna say the race or whatever, play with us. Like, tighten up. Tighten up, my girl. I'm not your issue. That's your issue. And sleeping with people like that and trusting them, this be the problem. Y'all be sold for the and then wanna, yeah, we had an issue. Yes, I'm gonna play with you. I'm gonna play with you. But once I seen the severity of the situation, I was like, damn, this is kind of fucked up, actually. Because I'm at home right now with my man, and we laugh together. We don't give a about this internet.
And let me tell you about how Tamar kept defending Junior until he got caught cheating. She jumped on Instagram Live to expose him after discovering charges from the Four Seasons in New Orleans on her credit card. She was completely shocked because she knew she hadn't been there. When she called Junior to figure out what was going on, he had the nerve to give her attitude. The hotel spilled the tea, telling her the reservation was under Mr. Jeremy Robinson and his guest, Miss J. The audacity.
Was used at the hotel for Mr. Jeremy Robinson and his guest, Miss J. Now, I don't know what y'all want me to do with that. Because when I had asked him about it, you get nasty with me and tell me, go take your meds. So when I posted it, I didn't post it to be nasty.
Honey, Tamar did her detective work to find out exactly who this Miss J was. She posted a screenshot of some woman's Instagram profile, and her caption was scathing. "Played in my face for a 25-year-old SMH. Took my jewelry, took me to Turks, and all along had a whole, I hate you, Jeremy Robinson." Now, if you've been following the Braxtons, you know this isn't anything new for Tamar. She's been like this in all her relationships. Remember when she married Vince and made everything about them? She came across as such a pick-me girl and still acts absolutely bizarre over her men. That's why so many people were betting their money on Tamar being the mysterious auntie Ashlee was talking about. But wait, the plot thickens. Recently, people started pointing fingers at Trina and Gabe, and here's why. Gabe apparently had some very disturbing intimate fantasies, and Trina stood by him for the longest time. And here's the kicker. When someone commented on Ashlee's TikTok suggesting it was about Gabe and Trina, Ashlee actually liked the comment. Then someone dropped this bombshell in the comments about Gabe. I definitely know it was Trina and Gabe. Gabe tried to hook up with my then 17-year-old transgender cousin online, offered to fly him/her out to Atlanta and take him/her to a hotel near the airport. I witnessed and recorded it all. Gabe blocked me on social media for trying to let her know what he was doing. What makes this whole situation even more disgusting is that people are saying Trina knew exactly what kind of man Gabe was. He cheated on her throughout their relationship, yet she still had the nerve to blame her niece. People say she was always turning a blind eye to his behavior. The cheating with both women and men, the intimacy issues, and his disturbing obsession with underage women. Looking back now, it makes so much more sense why the family couldn't stand him. It wasn't just about the cheating. All their husbands had cheated. There had to be something deeper, and maybe this was it. People on X were connecting all the dots. It's definitely Gabe and Trina. Tawanda never even had her nieces around because she was always busy being Toni's assistant. It can't be Tracy because she's not alive anymore. And Tamar, she was too wrapped up in her career while Vince was dealing with depression and obesity. Now, as devastating as this whole situation is, some cynical folks are suggesting that this revelation might be perfectly timed for a new season storyline. I mean, we've seen it before with reality shows. Family drama mysteriously erupting right before a new season. They used Kevin last year, and maybe they needed this for the new storyline. But if they're really planning to use this as a storyline, Lord, these people are truly out of their minds. Even with everyone pointing fingers at Trina and Gabe, I'm sitting here shaking my head at Evelyn. As the matriarch of this family, where was she in all of this? Why couldn't she step in and set her family straight? The whole situation is just absolutely mind-blowing and heartbreaking at the same time. But what do y'all think? Was Ashlee really talking about Trina and Gabe? Or do you think it was someone else? This tea is piping hot, and I need to hear your thoughts in the comments below.